Namaste. I am Anita Goa. If you're new to me in my channel, welcome. This video is by request. It is a yoga stretching video for after a run. If you feel like you need a little stretch after a run, this one might be the one. Let me know in the comments how it feels. I love to hear from you. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and please subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you on the mat. We're going to start at the back of the mat. Your feet can be about hip distance apart or wider or closer together. Just find a position where you feel supported through your legs. And we're going to start off with stretching the upper body just a little bit. So letting the right arm rest at the side of your body. Bend from the bottom of your ribs, keeping your chest open and lifted, reaching the left arm over your head. You can keep the arm extended, or you can also support your head if you want to. And find a position here where you're supported by your breath. Feel yourself fully inhaling and exhaling. So you can inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Try to root down into the left hip and the left foot. Peeking from underneath the arm and gazing up into the sky. I want to hold it for like a good 30 seconds or so. Good, and slowly, gradually come up. And then letting the left arm rest to your side, bending from the bottom of your rib and going over to your left. So reaching the right arm up. Support your head if you want to. Just let the left arm relax down, or root into the right foot and the right hip. Full breath in and full breath out. Good. So you might even feel this into your hips and into your IT band, depending on how you feel in your body. Good, and slowly, gradually come up. Whew. That always feels good to feel a little bit more open and create length in the body. We're going to interlace the fingers behind our back. Root down into the feet, draw in through the navel and lift through the breastbone. Try not to thrust your head back. You can gradually lift your chin and look up as you feel the arms stretch behind you and you squeeze your shoulder blades together. We want to feel good in your lower back. You don't want to crunch your lower back. So the more you root down and you draw in, you lift through your breastbone, the more length you'll be creating. So also being in a position here where you can breathe. Good, and then hinge it forward. And letting your legs bend so that your torso can rest over your legs, just to release any tension from the lower back, middle or upper back. You can shake out your head, let go of anything that doesn't serve you. That's a nice blood flow to the head and brain. It's calming but also invigorating at the same time. Good, and then slowly, gradually come up. So although we of course want to focus on stretching our legs, I also like to incorporate these upper body stretches. We're going to come forward into a downward facing dog, and if you have two blocks, you can place the blocks underneath your hands for the downward facing dog. This is especially good for creating a little bit more length in your spine and to be able to access the hamstrings. So if you need to be off your heels and keep your knees bent, be there. You can also pedal a little bit through the feet, pressing into the heels and stretching each hip and calf
calf and hamstring independently, so moving the hips a little bit side to side. Or you can try to press both heels towards the floor. Draw up through your shins and the quads. So that gives you a nice and deep stretch into the calves and the hamstrings. Good, then draw the right knee towards your navel and step it forward. And also, keeping the hands on the blocks will help a transition like that move a little smoother. Feel free to come up onto the blocks or stay on your fingertips if you're there. But draw up through the legs so that you can soften and actually not rely on your arms to support you in this position. The arms are supporting you, but the arms are not carrying you. That's the legs' job. And then gradually you can straighten out the right leg. Okay, so here, first I have my foot pointed. So there's a deeper stretch into the front of the shin and the ankle. So we want to make sure that we stretch that area too and not just the calf, so we prevent any shin splints from happening from the running. And then you can flex the foot. And if you feel like over time as you stay and you hold it and you practice and you can fold further over the leg, go for it. And lower yourself on the block. So the blocks are there to support you, give you the height and the leverage that you need. Exhale as fully as you can. Good. Then bend the leg. And we're going to lower the back knee into the floor, and if you need padding, give yourself some padding. And you can either keep the left hand on the block or on the floor. Toe heel the right foot to the side and turn the foot so it's approximately on like a 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock. And then gently twist it open to the right. So reach the arms up. And you can allow your hips to drop down towards the floor. And you'll feel the deep stretch into your hips. If it's better to keep the right hand on the thigh, you can stay there as well. And then another option is to bend your left leg and take a hold of the left foot. So that's a very deep stretch into the front of the thigh, into the quadricep. So the tighter it is, the deeper you have to breathe. So always put yourself in a position where you can breathe your deepest, fullest breath. Good. And then slowly release that. And then mindfully rewind yourself again. And if you want to use the blocks, we're going to step it back into a downward facing dog again. And then lower the knees into the floor. Point the feet and rest into a child's pose. Okay, in the child's pose, we're going to walk the hands over to the left. So your left arm is bent and the right arm is a little bit more extended. You can also bend the right arm and let your forehead rest onto the arm. And try to root back into the right hip a little bit more. So you'll feel the stretch here into the right side of your waist. Good. Gradually come up and then walk your hands over to your right. Root down into the left hip. You can bend the left arm and also here support your head onto the arm. Also know that you can place your forehead on a block. Good. And slowly come back to the center. And now we're going to make our way into the downward facing dog again as we exhale. And draw the left knee into the navel, step it forward. Good. And you can come up a little bit higher if you want to. Find that full extension of your body. To try to lift your hands off the floor and not rely on the arms or the upper body to support you. And then exhale, straighten out the left leg. So now I have the foot pointed. Breathe in, breathe out. Good, and then feel free to flex the foot so you'll feel it a bit more into your calf and your hamstring. So maintaining the extension of your spine, and feel free to fold over the leg as you stay and hold the position, but also over time you might find that happens. Good, and lift up. Bend the front knee, lowering the back knee into the floor. So either continue to keep your hands under the blocks or put them to the side, toe heel the left foot to the side, and now you can turn your foot to about 11 o'clock or 10 o'clock. Allow the hips to draw towards the floor, and then twist it open to the left. Good. And then if you want to, try to bend and take a hold of the foot. And know that you can also place a strap around the foot to help you that way. Full breath in, full breath out. Good. Okay, slowly rewind. Come back into the low lunge. And now this time we're going to step the right foot forward, keeping the feet about shoulder distance apart. Inhale. And then exhale, fold over your thighs. Stretching both hamstrings. Bend the knees as much as you need to. So that way you're protecting your back. And then inhale to halfway pose. And then exhale, bend your legs, keeping your feet parallel, and see if you can go as deep into a low Indian squat as possible. Now this isn't an easy position to stay in. It requires a lot of flexibility in the lower body, but also the upper body. So to stay here for a little bit longer, if your heels are off the floor, you can take a rolled up blanket and place it underneath your heels. And that can give you a little bit more leverage and enable you to stay here for a little bit longer. You can also sit on a block if you rather do that. Now you're going to feel it differently depending on what tools you use. But the key is to be able to hold the position for a longer period of time and stay with your breath so that whatever muscles are tight get the chance to release. And we have to look at this as a long-term thing. We're in it for a lifetime. And if we keep practicing and doing it for a longer period of time, you will start to notice and feel changes happening. Good, so trying not to be impatient with it. And slowly release, and you're going to sit down onto the floor. Ooh, yeah. Yoga, it's just like running.
First you're able to run a mile, and then you keep at it, and then you run a mile and a half, and you keep at it, and then you run 2 miles. Yeah. So we're going to sit down and bend the right leg in, keeping our torso facing forward. The right arm is going to go behind our back. Inhale, and we lift up and we go back. So the left foot is pointed, pressing down from your right shin, lifting your hips and then opening. It's like a modified rock star or wild thing, as we call it in our vinyasa practice. And then slowly release, lower it down. And sitting up tall, twisting to the left, again from the bottom of the ribs. And from there, bending over the left leg. Okay? So you can either, depending on your flexibility, take the right hand to the outside of the foot, left hand to the inside, left wrist crosses the right wrist, or you can take a strap and hold on to the strap. You can also rest the arms at the side of your body. So here the stretch is into the back of the leg and also into the calf, but you might also feel this into the right side of your spine all the way down into the hip, perhaps even the right inner thigh. And if you feel it a lot in your inner thigh and you need some support, you can take that blanket and place it underneath your knee. And also especially if you feel that a lot, if you feel a lot of pressure in the knee itself. Good, and gradually come up. Extend the right leg out and bend the left leg in. Sitting up tall, and then working the left arm behind you, pushing the floor away from you, pointing the right foot, lifting the pelvis, dropping the head back. You can also here support your head, and you might feel that stretch all the way down into your shin, right hip, right side waist and chest. It's a nice full body stretch for each side of our body. So twisting it to the right, and from there hinging it forward. And you can take the left hand to the outside of the foot, right hand to the inside, right wrist on top, or use your strap, or rest the arms at the side of your body. Good. Soften your shoulders, stay with your breath. Just because it's an asymmetrical pose, it's important to get that little rotation so that we can line ourselves over the extended leg. And then you'll also feel that valuable stretch that happens into the left hip and the left side of your spine. So just notice how it feels on this side. Good, and gradually come up. And extend your left leg out. Okay, we're almost there. You're going to inhale the arms up, and then exhale, slowly roll yourself down to the floor. And inhale, stretch the arms over the head, flex your feet, stretch out through the arms and the crown of your head. I didn't leave enough space here to do that. And then exhale, bring the arms forward, draw in, inhale, lift. And then exhale, hinging forward over the legs. So similar to what we did standing. And now you can either hold to the outsides of the feet, rest the arms at the side of your feet, or use a strap. And then you can also straighten out the legs depending on your flexibility. But again, I can't emphasize it enough. Never force yourself into the positions. Just try to stay with your breath and
Allow it to happen. Good. And gradually come up. All right, cross your legs. Feel free to sit on a block or sit on a blanket. And inhale the arms up. Just root down, reach the arms. And then exhale, palms come together. Touch your forehead and your heart. Great, thank you so much for practicing with me. I hope that you feel a little bit more mobile and limber after this yoga stretch after your run. Please let me know in the comments if this felt good. If you like more, I have many different combinations and variations of poses that I could share. So just let me know. Bye.